Hello, I'm Steve Matthews from Statistics Canada, and I'm part of the team organizing the student contest for the 6th International Conference on Establishment Statistics. So my colleagues from the team are here as well, and this video is going to give you an introduction to the contest.
Hi, I'm Rebecca Andridge. I'm an associate professor of biostatistics at The Ohio State University.
And I'm Juana Sanchez, and I teach at UCLA Department of Statistics since 1998.
And I'm Ken Copeland, Senior Fellow in Statistics and Data Science at NORC. I'm going to start by giving you folks a little bit of background first about the International Conference on Establishment Statistics. As you may be aware, there are a number of conferences on statistics, and the question is why one focused on establishment surveys. And it was started 30 years ago to provide a venue for gathering establishment survey researchers and methodologists together to highlight topics specific to establishment surveys, such as are listed here, and also to focus on the areas of difference from household surveys. Household surveys tend to get very much press in journals and so forth, but there are unique challenges that we have in establishment surveys, such as reaching the appropriate respondent, availability of records, and so forth. The first ICES was held 27 years ago in Buffalo, New York, 1993. There have been 4 subsequent to that. At first, it was every 7 years. Now it's every 4 years. And the ICES gathers together researchers, practitioners, and academicians from statistical agencies, survey organizations, and universities worldwide. There are a number of publications beyond the proceedings that have come out of the various ICES. I list here, there was a edited book from the first ICES. There have been 2 edited special issues in the Journal of Official Statistics, and then there are proceedings. So there's a lot of information that you can see what has been discussed and purposes. We're going to turn now to a few examples or discussion of what are the importance, what types of establishment surveys exist. I'm going to talk about a series of surveys in the US, the National Healthcare Surveys, that are conducted by the National Center for Health Statistics. It's a collection of 11 surveys, provider-based, that cover ambulatory, hospital, long-term care settings, provide information on factors influencing the use of healthcare, quality, and disparities in healthcare services. These, many of them do have public use data sets that are available. I have here a link in which you can identify some of these public use data sets. Others must be accessed through the NCHS Research Data Center for others. And a primary reason for this is something that is fairly unique to establishment surveys, which is given the size and the difference in size of some of the units, so forth, disclosure avoidance is a major issue. I'll now turn it to Steve.
Okay, thank you. So as I mentioned, I work at Statistics Canada, but I work in the Establishment Statistics Methods Division. So we're the group of statisticians who support the production and analysis of establishment statistics in our agency. And those numbers that we produce are the official statistics used to monitor the economy in Canada by agencies, other government agencies, the National Bank, and other different data users. So we produce things like the measures of inflation, employment, gross domestic product, and those are used to guide economic policy and make many other decisions in the government. So if you look on our website, I'm just going to pull up my shared screen. If you look on our website, you'll see some examples of some visualizations that we produce. So the first one I wanted to show is something that we produced for the COVID-19 pandemic, where we brought together a lot of economic indicators and tried to pull together a graph that really shows how the different sectors of the economy are affected by the pandemic and shutdowns and that type of thing. So this is sort of a time series analysis of different indicators to get a sense of who was hit hardest and how the recovery is unfolded from the pandemic. We also have some visualizations on our labor data. So this one, you're able to drill down into geographic areas in the country and also look at trends over time, both in employment and unemployment, and also look at changes by different industries to see how those month-to-month movements are happening. The last one I wanted to show has to do with international trade, so our imports and exports from Canada. This visualization allows you to look at the different countries that we import or export from, and some of the commodities that are part of those imports and exports are also available here to see how they break down and how they evolve over time. So those visualizations are very popular among our data users, and it's something that we're putting more and more effort into these days. So I'm hoping to see some interesting ideas out of the contest.
Thanks, Steve. Thanks, Ken, for those really interesting examples. And we hope that these examples motivate you, students who are listening to this, to participate in the student contest for ICESVI. Students of all ranks are eligible to participate in teams of 1 to 5 people. The goal is to analyze data from a US survey of businesses and produce creative data visualizations to answer a research question about small business owners. Aside from being a fun introduction to the world of establishment statistics, participating in the contest can be a great resume builder. In fact, the winner of the student contest at the last conference is presenting recent work at this conference. You will need to submit a short video showing off your data visualizations, plus a short written report. Now, Juana will talk about a few additional resources.
As Steve was saying in the introduction, I'm in academics. As I said in the introduction, I'm in academics, so I work as a researcher using establishment statistics. When I was young, I used to conduct my own surveys, but I found out in 2009, the Business Research and Development and Innovation Survey, which is a much bigger survey conducted by the Census Bureau and the National Science Foundation, to measure expenditures in research and development by big and small business, started including a section on innovation. So I use the Verdis for my research. So Verdis is used by the government to determine whether companies are spending enough in research and development. And if the survey says that they are not spending enough, the government will create incentives for them to do so. So the competitiveness of the United States is at stake here. I access the Verdis data at one of the, let me go to another slide, at one of the research data centers, the one that is located at UCLA. These are Census Bureau research data centers. Many graduate students from all over the United States conduct their research at these centers. This is a list of some of them. At UCLA, many faculty and students do the same. Christine Wells, which you will see in one of the other 2 videos, interacts with many of these UCLA researchers. You should watch her video. It will be useful for your research for this contest. The Federal Research Data Center are run by the Center for Economic Studies at the US Census Bureau, which collects the research in working papers. I think you can see the link here if you access this website at the top. There are many, many research papers in this place. Many of these working papers summarize research with establishment survey data. You may want to consult them to get ideas for your research. I want to call your attention to this particular working paper. Don't quit your day job using wage and salary earnings to support a new business. This is on a small business, and you may find ideas that may help you in your research for this contest. But first, you should watch James Hunt's video to understand your own SBO survey, which is the one that you will use for the competition. Now back to Verdis. When I started using Verdis, I did a lot of summary statistics and lots of tables and things like that. But until I started using visualization, I did not start understanding the survey very well. I was interested in attrition. What made companies stop participating in the survey? The Verdis has very large and very small companies. The big companies are interviewed every single year. They get tired. They stop participating. Visualization helped us see throughout the years which companies were more likely to stop participating. And then I was also interested in imputing the values that were missing so that I could conduct research using weights and all that you're going to use. So through visualization and simulations, which I could do outside the RDC, with the help of undergraduate students like Sidney Kamen and Denise Lee, we found out that the patterns of attrition were helping us decide how to impute. And that was something that we could only find through visualization. So you should think the visualization you're going to use could be a great contribution for the government to understand the small business. So good luck with your research and make sure you watch all the videos and use all the resources. And now I pass it to Steve again.
Okay, well, thanks everybody. So good luck, and we hope you all participate.